The story begins with a 10-year-old girl named Sophie, living in an orphanage. She lost her parents when she was just a baby, and ever since, she has been completely alone. Sophie suffers from a strange condition. She can't sleep at night, so while others dream, she stays awake, watching the dark streets from her window. She believes that somewhere around midnight, a giant monster roams the city, snatching children without a trace. But no one has ever seen it, except tonight. A trash bin outside suddenly falls over because of some stray cats. Sophie keeps watching, and then a huge hand appears from the shadows and places the trash can upright. Sophie freezes in fear. She doesn't make a sound, but the giant notices her. Terrified, she runs back to her bed and hides under her blanket. But it's too late. The giant grabs her, blanket and all, and disappears into the night. These giants never let humans see them, so he sneaks through the empty town and steps into a swirling storm, entering giant country. He takes Sophie to his cave-like house and hangs her on a wooden hook. Sophie, being smart, tries to escape. She moves toward the window, but accidentally drops some objects. The giant hears it and says, "There's no way out. You're in giant country now, and my name is BFG." He tells her there are 9 other giants, much bigger and way more dangerous than him. Sophie panics and pleads, "Please, don't eat me." But the BFG replies gently, "Don't be scared. I won't eat you. I'm a nice giant. I only eat vegetables." Sophie asks, "If you're good, then why did you kidnap me?" BFG explains, "You saw me. If I didn't bring you here, you would scream. People would spread the word, and soon humans would hunt me, lock me up in a cage." Sophie asks timidly, "Are the other giants also nice like you?" Sophie begs him to take her back. "I swear, I won't tell anyone," but BFG refuses. "From now on, you stay here, forever." He gives her a blanket, and Sophie angrily says, "I'll escape somehow." BFG warns her, "Don't step outside without me, little girl. Those giants will gulp you down like a snack." He lets her sleep in a tiny boat-like bed beside his own. Then he pulls out a jar from his bag. Sophie asks, "What's that?" "I catch them." She whispers sadly, "I never dream. I can't sleep at all." He reads her a story, and Sophie slowly drifts into sleep. As she sleeps, BFG walks into a secret room filled with glowing dream jars. He mixes dreams like a scientist, changing bits and pieces to make new ones. He creates a dream for Sophie, but it turns into a nightmare. In it, Sophie escapes while BFG is sleeping, but a huge monster bursts from the ground and swallows her alive. She wakes up, shaking in fear. She realizes BFG did it on purpose. "Why would you make me dream that?" BFG answers calmly, "So you understand how dangerous those giants really are." The next morning, the biggest giant arrives, Fleshlampeter, leader of all 9 giants. He smells humans everywhere he goes. Sophie hides inside a cucumber-like vegetable. BFG doesn't know she's in it and tries to offer the giant some vegetables. The monster growls, "I don't eat green junk. I eat flesh," taking some fizzy drink with him as he leaves. BFG pulls Sophie out of the smashed cucumber and takes her to a secret room, a stunning place filled with strange machines and glowing jars. He helps her wash up, dries her hair, and gives her fresh clothes. Then he builds a little bed for her inside a giant tree trunk. "I'm going to work," he says. "You must stay here." Sophie asks, "What kind of work do you do?" The BFG replies, "I catch dreams." Sophie insists on going with him, but he refuses. He explains, "To the other giants, humans are like sweet desserts. Staying here is the safest thing for you." Sophie puts on her glasses. She can't see clearly without them, and notices hundreds of bottles filled with glowing dreams, each one labeled based on the dream inside. They are beautiful, magical, alive. Curious and excited, Sophie sneaks out of the tree bed and finds BFG again. She begs to join him once more. He keeps saying no, while making a list of dreams he must catch tonight. But Sophie doesn't stop asking, so BFG finally gives in. They reach an area where all 9 giants are asleep. BFG whispers, "We must tiptoe quietly, then climb the ladder to the top." They walk carefully, but suddenly one of the giants grabs BFG's leg. All the giants wake up. Sophie quickly hides inside a car. The giants laugh and bully BFG because he's much smaller than them. They toss him around, throw him onto a truck, and attack him like it's a game. One giant climbs up on the cars to crush BFG, but Sophie turns the steering wheel just in time, and the giant slips and crashes hard onto the ground. The giants don't get hurt, they just find it entertaining and continue tormenting BFG. Just then, it starts raining. Giants panic. They are terrified of water. They scramble to hide under anything they can find. BFG quickly grabs his belongings, puts Sophie in his bag and escapes, but Sophie's blanket is left behind. The giants smell it, and they immediately know a human has been here. After escaping, Sophie tells BFG, "You shouldn't let them treat you like that." BFG answers quietly, "I've lived with them for years. They steal children. They steal happiness from humans. And I try to balance it by giving people dreams." He takes her to the highest mountain peak, a magical place known as Dream Country. At the top stands a massive glowing glowing tree. BFG says softly, I can hear everything, even the footsteps of ants. But my favorite stories come from trees and plants. They whisper things normal humans can't hear. Sophie looks into a glowing pond nearby and sees a breathtaking reflection of a world she has never imagined. BFG jumps into the pond and vanishes into the dream world. Amazed, Sophie jumps in too, and suddenly, she is floating in the land where dreams are born. BFG explains, this is where dreams come from. All kinds, every feeling, every emotion grows here. He points to the massive dream tree. The dreams speak to me. They tell me what they are and who they belong to. Sophie points, guiding him toward it. But the dream doesn't go to BFG. It floats towards Sophie instead. BFG quickly grabs it and seals it inside a jar. He then asks Sophie to try catching dreams herself. Excited, she runs through the magical forest, chasing sparkles of light. She goes farther and farther, when suddenly, a dark swirling nightmare appears. Not knowing the difference, Sophie accidentally captures it. BFG rushes over, alarmed. That's a very bad dream. Why'd you catch that? He seals it in a separate, ominous-looking bottle. Then they jump back into the pond and return to Giant Country. And from there, they sneak into the human world, because BFG has dreams to deliver. They reach a quiet house where a child sleeps peacefully. Sophie asks, why this house? BFG whispers, I heard the voice of his heart. He turns to Sophie. What dream should I give him? Sophie smiles softly. Give him something happy. BFG pulls out a bottle. Sophie asks, did your parents teach you about dreams? BFG answers, almost sadly, giants don't have parents, and I've lived as long as this earth has. He raises his trumpet-like device and gently blows the dream into the child's mind. The boy smiles in his sleep, filled with joy. Sophie is amazed. It's like watching magic happen. They head back toward Giant Country, but in the distance, they see the other giants hunting for children. BFG hides immediately. He can't fight them, even if he wants to. Sophie suddenly realizes, my blanket, I don't have it. BFG checks all his pockets, but it's gone. Sophie whispers, it must have been left in Giant Country. BFG looks worried. The giants will smell it and know a human was there. To protect her, he quietly leaves Sophie outside the orphanage where she came from. Until BFG whispers from the shadows, you left your blanket behind. The giants will come for you if you stay with me. It's safer if we say goodbye. Sophie doesn't want to leave him. We're friends now, I'll be okay. BFG lowers his head. I once had a friend like you, a boy who loved reading. He taught me how to read. I took him to Giant Country too, but the giants found out. They killed him. I can't let that happen to you. Sophie refuses to accept the same fate. We can stop them. We can send them away. We just need a way. But BFG won't listen. He picks up his bag and walks away. Sophie tries to stop him, but he leaves. Heartbroken, she sits on her bed, replaying his words. I listen to the voice of the heart. She suddenly realizes he can hear her heart, so she takes a deep breath and jumps out the window. Before she hits the ground, BFG catches her. Her leap proves something. She truly trusts him, and now BFG believes in her too. He takes her back to Giant Country. Together, they begin planning how to stop the giants, when suddenly, thunderous footsteps approach. The giants are coming. BFG quickly hides Sophie inside the tree trunk. All the giants storm into BFG's home. BFG demands, leave, now. But the leader holds up Sophie's blanket and growls, we'll leave, but we're taking the human with us. They sniff the blanket, searching the cave, smashing everything they find. One by one, they move toward the tree where Sophie hides. The leader gets closer. Sophie slips into the water beneath the roots and escapes through a narrow tunnel. She climbs into a small hidden room, full of human belongings, books, and beds. This place belonged to the boy who once lived here with BFG. She finds a painting the boy made, a picture of him with BFG. Below it, in a child's handwriting, it says, BFG, Big Friendly Giant. Sophie realizes that it wasn't BFG who named himself, it was his human friend. They were once as close as family. Just then, heavy footsteps approach. A giant enters the hidden room. Sophie hides. Outside, BFG fights fiercely to protect her, swinging a heated metal rod and driving the giants away, one by one. An idea forms in her mind. She runs to BFG and says excitedly, I have a plan. We need the Queen's help. She asks BFG to create a terrifying dream, one where all 9 giants are in England, stealing and eating children. BFG mixes the nightmare, adding soldiers' fear and chaos. Sophie tells him to include them both in the dream as well. He finishes it. It's ready. She explains, the Queen will dream of me sitting on her windowsill. When she wakes up, she'll see me there for real. They sneak quietly through London, avoiding everyone, until they stand outside the Queen's bedroom window. BFG uses his trumpet and blows the nightmare into the Queen's mind. She jolts awake, terrified. Her maid Mary rushes in. I dreamt man-eating giants were taking children from their beds, the Queen says in panic. Mary opens the newspaper. Reports of missing children fill the page. Her eyes widen. It matches the dream exactly. The Queen remembers the girl from her nightmare. Mary, open the curtains. Mary reluctantly pulls them apart, and there stands Sophie. The Queen gasps, I saw you in my dream. Yes, and the giant who brought me here is my best friend. He made the dream so you could help us. The queen asks, where is he now? Before I call him, you must promise not to hurt him. The queen nods, you have my word. Sophie calls out softly, EFG, you can come out now. At first he trembles in fear, but he slowly rises outside the window. Soldiers aim their guns at him immediately. Sophie shouts, you promised not to hurt him. The queen commands her guards, lower your weapons. The soldiers obey, and BFG slowly steps forward. He repeats exactly what Sophie told him to say. The queen smiles warmly. She's happy to finally meet him. Soon, he is brought inside the palace. A giant seat is arranged for him at a massive dining table, and BFG is served food he never dreamed of. For someone who has eaten only snozcumbers his whole life, royal breakfast feels like heaven. The queen then summons her general. We promise this giant that we will stop the man-eating giants. You must travel to Giant Country with him. A full military operation begins. Helicopters, soldiers, and weapons follow BFG toward Giant Country. As soon as they arrive, all compasses fail, but the mission continues. They reach safely. BFG tells the army to wait, then takes Sophie back to his cave to create one more nightmare. I'll give them a horrible dream, he says. When they wake up, they'll be so weak and terrified. The soldiers can capture them easily. They finish the nightmare, but right before they can use it, BFG realizes, I left my trumpet at the palace. Sophie refuses to give up. She grabs the nightmare jar and starts walking toward the sleeping giants herself. BFG tries to stop her, but one giant's eye opens. In panic, Sophie throws the jar. The nightmare explodes into glowing mist and rushes into the giants' minds. All except Flesh Lumpeter, their leader. He forces the nightmare away and smashes it. The other giants go wild, frightened by their own thoughts, acting like crazed cannibals in their sleep. Flesh Lumpeter attacks Sophie, but BFG shields her. The giant attacks BFG too, but right then the queen's army strikes. Helicopters drop giant chains. Explosives trap their legs. One by one, the giants are captured. The operation is a success. The captured giants are airlifted far, far away to a deserted island in the middle of the ocean. Nothing grows there, nothing to eat, so the queen orders crates of snozcumber seeds to be dropped. The giants scream and cry in disgust, forced to eat that foul, slimy vegetable for the rest of their lives. Mary adopts Sophie, giving her the family she never had. Sophie's life becomes full of happiness and love, and far away in Giant Country, BFG plants huge gardens of vegetables and lives peacefully. Whenever Sophie misses him, she just whispers through her window, because BFG can still hear every little whisper in the world, and that keeps them together happy forever. If this friendship touched your heart, even a little, then imagine how many more stories are waiting out there. So go ahead, hit subscribe, share this with someone who needs a smile today,